mind thinks of and heeds these things. So you got to have a God who is aware of what everybody is doing and who is concerned about it and is going to punish you if you do something wrong, even if no other human being knows that you've done it wrong. Able to see everything that's done. It won't escape the God's notice. He said these words, this person who introduced the divine being, and introduced a most cunning doctrine, concealing the truth in a false story. So this explanation, we got 4 explanations now of the origin of belief in the gods. This one is clearly implies that there really are no gods, that this is a sheer invention thought up by some wise person to get people to behave when nobody is looking. And the truth that is concealed in this false story, we're not told exactly what it is, but you can speculate. Well, this is a good point for me to pause, because we've got 4 answers to your question. You know, why do people believe that there is a God or gods? Yes?
Okay.
Yes?
Is that last quotation very much in line with Plato's thinking in the Republic, the regulation of society?
It's in line with Plato's thinking in the Republic, and even more so in the Laws, with the exception that in these writings, Socrates or the Athenian, the visitor from Athens, who are evidently stand-ins for Plato, argue that, or at least claim, that there are gods and that they care about human beings. They're not indifferent, and they can't be bribed. Those are the 3 dogmas that in the Laws the visitor from Athens wants to be enforced in this colony that they're imagining setting up. So yes, you're right. And Critias being a relative of Plato's, I think there's, you know, it's not just a coincidence. Yes, here.
When you're talking about the Democritus quotes, you touched on this idea of dreams, that some of the images he was talking about were dream images.
Yes.
I was just wondering how important dreams were to these people in terms of being, you know, divine or whatever, because they perhaps did not understand what they were. They did have an awful lot of weight in that society, or is there evidence?
Did dreams have an awful lot of weight in ancient Greece? They seem to have. Even Socrates, who, you know, in some respects is shown in Plato's dialogues as a very rational figure, and he wants people to articulate their fundamental beliefs about the principles on which they're acting, and subjects them to inquiry by trying to refute them from the person's own admissions. Even he is shown as, you know, having had a dream in the beginning of Plato's Phaedo, and as something that said something like follow the muses, and thinking, well, maybe it meant that he should be writing poetry, so he started writing some verse. He in the Crito, when he's visited by his old friend Crito in the prison, he said he had a dream that somebody said in 3 days you will go to fertile Thea, and he had to mean that his execution would be 3 days from then. So he gave credence to these beliefs. And I think, who knows why we dream? We don't know, I think. We don't think that it's, you know, some kind of revelation from the gods. I think the Democritus may have had a view like that of a later atomist thinker, whom he's quoted later on. I might get to him. That the dreams are actually things that come to us physically by, particles of atoms kind of entering our body in when we're sleeping, things that we more, noticeable, just in the way that when you're sleeping you hear very small sounds that you wouldn't. Was something.
Just the general attitude in God's thinking in dreams.
Later than the time we're talking about. So this would be 4th century BCE, around, let's say, 3. It's a view, but the fact that he felt that a lot of people did think that you got, yes.
Actually, and she said if that's a normal thing to,
Put it in your hand, and then we'll see.
Yes, George says so. This is a life that I would like, if we were going to discuss dreams.
I'll talk about dreams insofar.
Yes.
Biological evolution of perceptites, and we as human beings, civilization, with a survival with human beings, not only things. And what I'm thinking is, comes with that's inherent of concepts. We persuasion that.
I'm not going to. Let me just try to see if I've understood what you all that. That is, we interpreted these laws, and then we perceive, and we conceive of. That's your thought. I guess I would think you would need to answer before we conquer.